intercooler is fitted roughly for now. There's really no room for it. Water lines aren't fitted yet. Polypipe, just PVC, just so it's sealed up for now until I can take it somewhere to an exhaust shop to get a proper piece made. But it's had to come back towards the firewall just for bonnet clearance. A few other bits and pieces. This here, that's where the rear crankcase breather went to. So the hose went under the inlet manifold and came into this one here. But of course, you'll just put boosted air into the crankcase if you leave that connected. So you need to take that off. And I've actually just put on the bung that was on the sump return. It's what the mechanic just fitted on there to stop oil getting blown straight out of the sump. So I've just sat that over now. And yeah, it's alright. I just forgot to add that bit of info last time. And there's other things like it's hard to see. This particular vacuum line that comes into the firewall here, I think it's for your air conditioner, like vent controls and all that. That's where I teed into for the boost gauge. And obviously it gets a vacuum reading, and I've done a leak test on the piping on the car, and I get a boost reading. So I know that source is okay, because it gives both boost and vacuum readings. So that's just another thing that it's hard to know where to tee into, because there's a million vacuum lines on these things. I know you can't use your fuel pressure one there. So yeah, it's just hard to find little bits of information like that, like where do you tee into for that, and what do you do about this. So the car's going into the shop tomorrow to get a new exhaust manifold gasket. Turns out it was leaking right from the head, and it was leaking really badly, like around the whole thing. So I'm just getting the mechanic to put a whole new gasket in there. So we'll actually make some boost then. My dump pipe needs to be joined as well. That's another 3-inch section that came with the kit, and I just bought this 3-inch to 2.5 reducer just for now. Eventually I'll upgrade the whole lot to 3-inch, but I'll do for now. And I got these for like $40. They're just rear springs, and they'll only lower it like 2 centimeters, but I got them cheap, and I don't have to change the shocks just for that slight drop. So it should look a bit better. So I'll get all that done at the same time, as well as wheel alignment. And we'll see how it goes from there, see if it makes some boost. So once I get the everything else done, I'm gonna install the water lines, which you can't see them, but that's why the bumper's not fitted properly, because it's gonna have to come off again, because the fitments on this heat exchanger are right on the sides, which you can't actually see them, but they're way around there. And then I'm just gonna have to find a place to mount the water pump, and then just wire in the relay for it. I've just got a little fused relay, which I hope is going to be right. And I've just got to find exactly how I'm going to run the hoses. Obviously, you've got inlet and outlet there. I don't suppose it matters which way it goes in and out of here or in and out of the heat exchanger, but just need to find a way to get from this end back without getting in the way of anything. But yeah, most of the hard stuff is done. Right, I've got all the plumbing done for the water pump for the intercooler. So yeah, this is my dodgy PVC pipe. I just painted black, so it doesn't look quite so silly, but I will go to an exhaust shop and get that redone in stainless or aluminium. Yeah, I've had to come back towards the firewall so far just for bonnet clearance. But right, here's the two fittings, inlet and outlet. I don't suppose it matters which way they go. And of course the heat exchangers down here. Both the inlet and outlet are on opposite sides. So I started over here. Can't see because it's all back together. But the hose comes up the bumper and up behind the headlight there. There's enough clearance in where the behind here. So hoses come up to the water pump, to the inlet, then the outlet comes across the top into the top there, then it comes back out. That one comes up here, down underneath the intercooler, comes back through the same hole on the opposite side. There's a little bit of excess that I've just coiled for now. I don't know if I'll cut it to size or just leave the excess coiled and make sure it's, you know, cable tied in there or something so it can't drag on the road. But so if I've got a little extra pipe, just means a little extra water capacity really in the system. But yeah, there's the filler there, and it's got a little drain down there, just so you can drain it. But yeah, it's all done. So the only other thing I've got to do, I have a little fused relay that I'm going to wire into the power of the pump. I was going to put it on a switch, but I couldn't get the one I wanted, so I don't know what I'm going to do for now. Because I'm using a proper relay, I could possibly run it off headlights even, so as soon as the lights come on, relay gets a signal wire, clicks, and then the fuel pump runs just as soon as the lights are on. Because I don't want it to start pumping as soon as I have accessories on or anything, because then it's going to be running when I'm trying to crank the car over. But yeah, overall it's not too untidy, I don't think. Air to air would have been a lot less fucking around, but yeah, I didn't want to go relocate the battery and cut the tray out and drill holes. So there you go. I'm going to fill it with water now and just dodgily connect power to the pump just to circulate water and check for leaks. We'll see how it goes. Nice little reducer in there. It's not the tidiest exhaust system ever, but it works. New gasket. New springs in the rear, still not low, but a bit better. You can see I've put the Fairmont dash in there. The odometer didn't work beforehand in either dash, but we've changed the gear in here. We're going to go for drive, see if it works. Boost gauge. The mechanic test drove it, said the gauge still didn't go above 0, but it's definitely making boost now, and it actually doses. But I've changed the piping around, and a few of the hose clamps were very loose. So hopefully I just had a boost leak, and I can actually get a reading. But I know it's making boost now. Definitely, it feels a bit better to drive. I'm still running the open wastegate. It doesn't even have as much as the screamer pipe, so it's actually surprisingly not that loud, but you can definitely hear when the wastegate opens and just vents straight out the side of the wastegate. No piping whatsoever. But yeah, we'll go for a drive in a minute and see how it goes. It's actually quieter now than it was with the extractors and everything, so the turbo manifold and turbo is actually quieting it down, which is interesting.